Hey y'all, how y'all doing? How is everyone? Ooh, goodness. Y'all know I'm still playing with this light, right? Yes, it's just different. It's just a different child. I'm trying to figure it out. Some good light. Y'all better let me know what y'all think about the light. This light, right? I'll watch it back and see what it looks like. Oh, there I go. See, that's how crazy I am, y'all. I wasn't even scroll back to the top, so I couldn't even see myself. So all I could see was, hey, summer girl. All I had was this little screen in the bottom, y'all. And I was up here thinking I was doing something. Oh, Lord, no, that don't work. That's too bright. And it's a reflection off my glasses. It looks bad. Anyway, so how was y'all day? It's Monday. Thank God for another week, right? Everybody, most people are going back to work. Some people still home. Ow, I just hit the trash can under the desk. Whew. Y'all, I am tired. Ugh, I'm telling you, it has been a long day. It was a long weekend. Well, let me tell you, yesterday, my cousin, Jill, she had a soul food Sunday dinner at her home, and we played bingo. And it was really a lot of fun, y'all. That's the first time I have actually been out and socialized since November. So it was really nice to go over there and to hang out with family. It was adults only. Everybody there was 21 or, older. And because Larice isn't 21 yet. So I guess that's, she's 20. So, but yes, we had so much fun. We played bingo. Oh, and it was a blast. I was the bartender. Y'all know I can't drink no more. Once in a while, I have my little Seagrams, one of them little wine coolers, right? I can drink the one or two of them, but y'all, I don't drink at all anymore. Anybody knows me knows that from my past is probably shocked, but I haven't had a liquor in, I don't know, it's been a couple of years. So yeah, but other than that, ain't much else going on. Julian is in bed. His back is giving him a fit today, so he's been around the house laying on the floor, which is kind of funny. Yes, Summer. No, yeah, I did win, and I gave my gift to your Aunt Jill because I like to just play to win. I don't need a gift. I just like to be able to say I got a W. Is that it? I'm sorry, but I don't mind. As long as I got a W, I like to watch it. I like to play. Right? That's fun for me to win. I had three cards going, y'all, and still couldn't get the most wins. Mm, that's what I'm talking about. But yes, Julie been laying on the floor all day, most of the day, off and on. And Jonah has loved it because Jonah thinks Buelo's on the floor for him to play with. So it's kind of funny to watch that because Julian is on the floor because his back is killing him. But anyway, he took one of his Flexerils, so he is sleep. So everybody doesn't know Julian does not take medication at all. Motrin makes him sleepy. Ibuprofen. So a Flexeril, just one, knock him. He be sleep. So, but yes, he's in bed. So today, Zane went to therapy. This was our second week back since coronavirus, and he has lost some range of motion in his ankles. No surprise, right? Um, I just don't know the braces he has. I haven't been able to get back into the clinic to get them. They have to warm them and stretch them, right? Because it's a hard plastic. His braces are, and I haven't been able to get in there, because of coronavirus and things to get that done. But they still want him to wear these braces. But every time he wears these braces, his legs get red. So he can only wear the braces like 15, 20 minutes at a time before he gets red on the bony part of his ankle on the inside on both feet. So I know it's the way the braces are shaped that's causing the problem. But what do, right? As parents, you know what's best for him. You know that Zane needs those braces, right? He needs them because he toe walks due to sensory reasons. And if he continues to toe walk as he's growing, then it's going to mess up his development. And, something wrong with your feet affects your knees, your hips, and your back. So it's significant medically, and anatomically, and we know that. But what do? And then he doesn't want to wear them because he wore them one time and they hurt him. And so now he doesn't want to wear them at all. So you put them on him, and the whole time he has them on, he wants to know when he's going to get to take them off. The minute he can take them off, then he takes them off. And then when you call him to put them back on, it starts all over again. But he really does not want to wear them. But he has to. But how do you explain that to a child with an expressive language disorder? So, and who well, when you say flat feet, because he walks around on his toes, it's got to seem like we nagging him, right? And it's just so much on him. He gets very frustrated. He already has I don't even know. He got the patience of a rattlesnake, I think. But yeah, and a lot of it's just he doesn't understand. So because of those things, it just makes it harder. And then once you get him to wear his braces, then he's mad, so he doesn't want to do his words or his letters because Zane still doesn't even know all the letters in the alphabet and their sounds. So we're working on it, but he doesn't know them all. So, which is why he'll be repeating kindergarten. It's not because we don't do our part. He just hasn't got it yet, but we're working on it. We are getting there. We've learned that it takes repetition, right? To repetition in order to for him to learn his sight words. And by repetition, I'm talking about he has to sing the same word 200 or more times for it to stick. So yeah, so that's quite a thing. Oh, I didn't see you guys. Hey cousin, hey Linda, hey honey, hey Kyra. And so it's Zane has 4 diagnoses, and all 4 of them are extremely different. And all 4 of them come with their own issues. And then some of the issues overlap. So, we do our best, but we do our stretches and different things, whatever he may need. But it makes for an interesting time. This morning he was, I'm talking about Zane, guys. This morning I tried to do he went to therapy. And when he got back, Summer took him. And when he got back, we were going over, I told him it was time to go over his sight words. So we have a stack of sight word cards that he's learned, okay? And then I do groups of 5 that we're learning. And then we do flashcards of the alphabet every day. This is what I do. So today I tried, when he got back from therapy and stuff, I tried to get him to, it was time to do his words. Well, he didn't want to do his words. So Zane, he talks under his breath, or he doesn't want to do it because he's just getting back from therapy. Zane wants to get on his game. He wants to go in his room, his favorite place. He wants to do all of this other stuff. But the truth is, I know that's what he wants to do, and I understand that. But the thing is that as a mom, I'm required to be a mother, right? So my job as the mom is to make sure we go over these letters and words. So I try to get him to come over there. Yeah, let me tell y'all about this little fella. Oh, Zane, something, y'all. For him not to biologically be mine, Zane give me a run for my money. But he said, he's saying the words like that, right? Whispering just like that with an attitude too. And so I told him, I said, Zane, you need to pay attention so we can get this done, and then you can go and whatever you want to do. But we have to get this done. This is important. So I hold the words up again. This time he just sit there and looks at the word. Talk about he don't know it. Now this word is in the already known pile. So I know Zane knows this word. He went through it. So I told him, I said, Zane, you need to do your work, or you need to do your work, or you're not going to be able to be on your phone, or cut the TV on in your room. This little boy got up, walked, and threw his phone on the other couch in the other living room. And then went to his room and closed the door behind him. Now, y'all know any of our other children, child, I'd have pushed that door open so fast, you couldn't have closed it fast enough because I'd have been right behind your little spoiled tail. But I had to wait, because had I went in the room and tried to talk to Zane then, he would have had a complete meltdown. And what was 30 minutes of him in the room and then him coming back would have been 3 hours. Right. Would have been 3 hours. Zane can scream for an hour, hour and a half straight. Okay? So, again, that's part of one of his issues, and it just is what it is. But Zane can scream. I didn't say cry. I said scream for an hour and a half straight. No breathers, no breaks, just scream. And then for 30 minutes to an hour after the screaming, he's going to sit around and go, ah. It's 3 hours every time he has a meltdown. It's like a clock. So, hey, Lou from the Slew. So, he, about 30 minutes later, he came out of his room, came back to the couch. I went in our little, we have our little work cubby hole. So I went and I got the new words, the 5 new words, the sight words he already knows. There's about 40 of those. And the flashcards with the letters, alphabet. So he comes in there, guess what? He knows all the words he already knows. We go over each new word 5 times, right? So we go through the list 5 times, and we do each word 5 times when I show it to him, right? Unless he knows it. Now, if he just says the word, then what we do is we just skip that card and go to the next one, right? It just keeps the rotation. So he did all of that. And then we did his letters. He still doesn't know all of them. And he gets very aggravated because he was in school. So he knows that most of the people know the words, right? So, or the letters. And he doesn't see them and grasp them, right? So a lot of it isn't that Zane doesn't know. A lot of it is because of his expressive language disorder, he just doesn't know how to communicate effectively to us, or he doesn't receive what we say correctly. It gets twisted. So that's not all. His articulation issue, that he's intelligible. A lot of that is from the expressive language disorder as well. So, just working with him and staying on top of that, before school starts back, which depending with things like they are, Zane's probably going to be homeschooled at least for the next year. But I have to figure out, with his IEP, how all of those things work, because that stuff I don't really know exactly how it works. I have an idea because when we were considering homeschooling Zane, I had already did some research, but I really don't know exactly what it'll entail or what it'll look like for Zane. Hey, Auntie. And so I don't know exactly what that'll look like for him, but hey, I can't take a chance of him going to school and getting sick either, or bringing anything home. And we got enough we dealing with around here. But if I can get Zane where he recognizes all of his letters and sounds, and he knows all 100 sight words, and he's reading, which we practice reading. That's something else I do with Zane. And I don't do it every day. Look, I know I should, but I do it as much as I can. Zane a lot of times goes to bed and he doesn't say goodnight. So, hey, yo. But if he gets to sleep, so I try to read with him in the mornings, but all of that on top of each other, Zane has ADHD combined as well, and he takes no medication. But so it's kind of tough to get him to be still long enough to do all of that stuff in a regimented way. So, but he does know how to, read and follow along, and so, and as he learns more words, and as he learns more sounds, all of that is just going to get better. So we do that, and but it's tough, guys. I look, I know that there were a lot of us parents that got through into homeschooling, right, with COVID-19. And but I honestly believe that some children will learn better at home and from their parents, just because it is what they need. It's kind of like Zane has an IEP, right? It's what IEP stands for, if you don't know, is an individualized education plan. And you know what I think? I think every student should have one. Every student should have an IEP. I know that means you need to employ more people in order to make that happen effectively. But I believe every child should have an IEP, because the truth is every child learns differently. We have 6 children that are adults, right? Well, Javier will be 18 July 3rd. So we have 6 children that are adults. And we have Zane. Zane is our first special needs child. The other 6 all did well in school. Some of them are even a little extra smart. But the thing is that each one of them, even in that, are different. And they had different strengths and different weaknesses, just like we all do. So I feel like That is what school is missing. One of the things to be able to help the parents and the students and the teachers. If you know each child's strengths and weaknesses, you know how they learn, you know what is easier, not easier, but what comes more naturally to them. For instance, math. Zane can do second grade math, word problems. If you can read him the problem, he can put the numbers in order and answer it. So that's what I'm saying. If you give it to him in numbers, he has it easily. So, and that's just what it is for him. So, we do a lot of Go Fish. We play Go Fish. I bought a Go Fish game. It's a Go Fish game, but it's letters. It's nothing but letters and letter sounds. So we sometimes we play and we have to ask for the letter, and sometimes we have to ask for the sound. And it's a whole house event. I mean, we played with 6 of us at the table. Me, Julian, Javier, Zane, Larice, and Jonathan have all sat and played this Go Fish together. But that's how we have to play with Zane, and that's what we have to do. But I say all of that to say that I know right now it may seem a little scary or you're a little anxious maybe about what's coming or what you're going to do when school starts back with your kids and stuff. But I just encourage you to pay attention to your kids. Talk to them. See what's best for them. Look, all of us are not morning people. Maybe your children will rather go to school after lunch. Is there a problem with that? They offer night school to adults, right? So I'm just saying, you have to meet your children where they are. And as parents, we have to require that from their educators and the administrators. I don't care if they're in private school or public school. All of them have teachers, educators, and administrators. So we have to be always on our A game when it comes to our children, and we have to make sure those that are on their team, whatever that looks like, are on the same game plan. That's it in a nutshell. You are your child's only advocate. Hey, Auntie. Hey, cuz. I ain't see you get hey, Tina. But yes, we have to make sure that we know our children well enough to be their voice, because they're not always heard, nor do all children don't speak up either. Like Zane. Zane will run and tell the teacher everything. Zane went and told the teacher because they call him bald-headed. And Zane was not bald-headed. He just has blonde hair that they can't see. Now, y'all, this is the type of stuff I get called to the school for. Because Zane is upset that the other children called him bald-headed because he's not bald-headed. They just can't see his hair. So what do? Do you go to the school and tear his behind up because he disrupting class and tattling? Heck no. I went to the school and was so happy that he had articulated what was going on to the teacher. I could have cared less about the rest of it. But see, that's how it's different with every child. I took a belt to the school to whip Jonathan behind because he signed my name on a after school detention slip. And the teacher called me, wanted to know if it was my signature. Heck no, it wasn't my signature. I didn't even know nothing about it. He was in 7th grade, Miss Sunbaum's class in North Carolina, Southwest Middle School. And she called me. I took the belt in my purse to the school, y'all. And I told him all I need a room for 5 minutes. You can go right on back to class. I don't need I don't need to be bothered. But you have to know each of your children. Exactly, Kyra. You had an IEP because you had some speech issues. And look at you, exactly. Get ready to sit for your RN NCLEX, not just for anything. You did a 4-year program in two and had a baby and had brain swelling. But that's just it. That's the one thing you've got to teach them is how to survive and overcome. Nobody, Zane, hey Monica, Zane, no, everybody that knows Zane, Zane is the happiest little boy. And he's not spoiled. He maybe a little bit. He ain't rotten though. He's a little spoiled though. But Zane is so grateful. You can give Zane $1 toy or a $50 gift card, and he's gonna be happy for both. He just is that way. And the thing is, I can say that about all of our children. All of them like nice things, but all of them know how to shop at the thrift store too. They understand that nice doesn't necessarily mean expensive. Good quality doesn't necessarily mean it costs your whole week paycheck. You know, we have tried to teach our kids to always be concerned about their credit score. Always be concerned about how you're going to live and provide for your family. We taught our daughters, you don't want a man that's not going to be able to protect you and make you feel safe, confident. And the truth is, that's what we work to instill in Zane. Zane, I want Zane to always be confident. Even if it looks like a tattle, I'm so glad that Zane will speak up for himself. Now, was that anything serious or was I upset? No. No, I was not at all upset. He do look bald headed sometimes, especially after he just got his hair cut at Rodney. When it's real low, you really can't see that good. So I understand kids are kids. Now, it could have been just anything said and happened. You understand? But that was it. But I was so proud of him. Hey, bro. I was so proud of him that he spoke up automatically for himself. He did not wait. He did not let it go. He went straight to the teacher and told the teacher they called him bald headed and was picking on him. Y'all, that is such a amazing. That's just amazing. Zane is intelligible. Most people don't even understand him. And even the speech pathologists have to listen hard. We around here sometimes look at each other and ask, did you know what Zane said? But I tell you what, Zane can put a bag of popcorn in the microwave and he knows which button is the popcorn button. Zane, when we buy groceries, because Zane has severe food aversion, so Zane only eats certain things. When we buy groceries, and Zane has a drawer in the refrigerator, and he has some baskets on a shelf in the cabinet, in the pantry. And Zane knows where his stuff goes, and he puts his own stuff away because he likes it a certain way. He is an amazing little fella, but he still don't know all the alphabet letters or sounds. And yes, he's fixing to be 7 in September. you know? But that's okay because guess what? Guess what? He gonna learn them. He's gonna know the letters. He's gonna know the sounds. People will be able to understand him. And guess what? If they can't, we're leaving him a business. So, and something that he will be established in and able to take care of himself. All of our children will make sure he is okay. So but we have to teach Zane. Zane has to be able to clean up, get himself something to eat. He can make one of them little nasty cheese sandwiches that he eat only on buns. He like cheese, shredded cheese on buns. I'm just saying. But he is just a phenomenal little guy. And days like today, when we've had kind of a trying day, which Mondays are usually a little off because he does PT and OT on Monday mornings in Gainesville. So he has to get up, get ready, right? Zane does not like to be rushed, but he has to get up, get ready, drive to Gainesville, which is about an hour away to his appointment. Then he has to see PT. No, he sees OT and then PT. So, and they're back to back. And they're only each 30 minutes because of his issues, the certain issues he has. He doesn't do more than 30 minutes in each once a week right now. So, but Mondays are a little off, because he's threw off in the beginning because Zane gets up early, but Zane doesn't like to get bossed around early, if that makes sense. He does not like to be bossed around early. So you have to, and because if I talk to him the way I've talked to Selma, Jonathan, like how I raised them, y'all, Zane would, he could not understand that. And so I just want to encourage you, to first of all, give yourself a little pat on the back and some leeway, because if you're not a teacher, this stuff is new. If you don't have experience with special needs or exceptionalities, it's tough. Navigating this is tough. And so we have to, first of all, be kind to yourself. And remember to be patient and kind to your child and to try to figure it out. Now some kids just, they older and they a little more difficult. This don't go for them. Some kids just don't want to do nothing. So they just, you got to handle them accordingly. But I'm talking about those with elementary age kids, or those, I know a lot of people have been talking, on my page and stuff about how tough this was for their special needs children during this time, because, hey, Zane gets OT and speech and language at school. Plus he gets extra, some extra help on certain things. A specific lady gives him all of his tests because Zane doesn't do well with new people. So the same lady provides his test. And so he was used to that. And then bam, I'm the teacher. Come on, y'all. What I was gonna teach Zane how to do a split? Cause y'all know I can teach you that. But y'all know I ain't no teacher for a reason. The reason when I substitute teach, I only subbed at high school was because the one time I went to the elementary school, I was like, y'all lying. I am not This too much talking. They talking too much, and y'all want me to have to talk too much. I'm not. I'm not with talking to all these children over and over. I'm gonna talk to a child 4 or 5 times. Child, please. Y'all, anybody know me know that wasn't going down like that. So I didn't like it. At the high school, it was different. You didn't go. You didn't come to class. I just marched you absent. You came to class and cut up. I just sent you to the office. It was easy. I was never that. Listen, I was never that teacher while I was subbing. I was always the cool lady. Because I remember being in high school, so I didn't want to be that teacher, that substitute, I should say. But the thing is that it is very different, when you're not used to that and you don't have the experience. So that's why I say be kind to yourself. If there's something you don't know, look, thank goodness here in Florida, DeSantis got rid of Common Core. I don't know what's coming behind it, but it can't be no worse, can it? So if anybody on my page knows anything about the curriculum that Florida's planning to start using in the fall, let me know, because I don't really know. I should find out, but I don't know. But I know Common Core is not it. I do not like it at all. And this whole idea that makes it easier for kids transferring and going to different schools and the curriculum will be the same, that is bull crap. That's crap. Because it's all going to depend on the school district, how it's taught. So it's not the same. Our kids have, between all of our children, they've been to a plethora of schools in different states. Oklahoma, Chicago, Wisconsin, Virginia, North Carolina, and Florida. They've all been in school in all of these states. So, one point or another. So, why that's not the case. We don't need Common Core. Common Core is ridiculous. That's how I feel about it. You can like it if you want to, that's fine. But I teach Zane how to count with little dash people. Like how we learn to count with little dash hashes. But Zane don't need no dashes. He can count in his head. Zane can add and subtract very easily and not count anything on the paper or need any diagram in his mind. Just give you the answer. And that's frustrating too with Common Core because they want to see the work. What you need to see the work, got an answer for. Anyway, so, I'm not of the mindset there's only one way to do anything. I don't believe that because there's too many different ways to come up to the same answer. So I believe that there are different ways to do things because people learn differently. And so, that's that. But that's all that's been going on around here today. Just dealing with Zane and making sure he's getting all he needs, even though he thinks we just bothering him. Because Zane's favorite thing to do is jump around on his tippy toes and play Fortnite. Zane loves Fortnite, y'all. He does not have a headset. He does not have a microphone. He can't talk to the people because I don't want them picking on him, right? And he can't hear the people. So whoever he be playing with, but Zane pretty good. Jonathan and Julian say they're Fortnite. And but he jumps around the whole time he's in a match on his tippy toes like this. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth the whole time. If he plays the game for 2 hours, that's what he does for 2 hours. With his phone going with a Ryan video or something, or Roblox or whatever game he's got on there. But he jumps back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And but that's what Zane loves to do. So I'm not gonna stop him from doing it. Who he hurting? Only thing I had to say, flat feet, flat feet, flat feet. You know, you tell every time one of us go back by his room, because you hear flat feet, flat feet, flat feet. We were joking earlier that might be the first thing Jonah say, flat feet or no, because his mom and daddy say no a lot. But I just want to say, you be your child's advocate. Listen, if they tell you your child, you know, I saw a post today where somebody was talking about, they were talking about their child and IEP and stuff. It was in a group, and they were talking. Somebody made the comments about this, their primary care's responsibility to no. Listen, if something's wrong or you feel something is wrong, your primary care may not see it. You know, some of them primary cares, you be in and out there in 2 minutes, y'all. The school has psychologists on payroll for a reason. So don't let them tell you all of that stuff and give you that runaround. Yes, I believe you should ask your primary care for a referral to a behavioral specialist or a behavioral psychiatrist. They will instantly let you know if they need to do any further testing. But don't expect an answer right away. You know, many of you guys know that some of you know that Zane, they have been saying Zane was possibly autistic since he was 2.5. So, but what we didn't know, and there were no signs of, was the ADHD combined, the expressive language disorder. See, they thought a lot of it was that he didn't, because Zane didn't talk till he was 3. Everything was delayed for him, but they weren't sure exactly what it was. And after they did all of their testing, Zane has a neurodevelopment disorder, but he's not on the spectrum. So it is a neurodevelopmental issue, but it's not autism. Do you understand? Because they had an idea, and these diagnosed probable, things were written down from the behavioral psychiatrist. But that psychiatrist didn't say, "Oh, I know everything." That psychiatrist referred him to a clinic where they tested did all kinds of a battery of tests. So some of them I was there for, some of them I was not. And but after they did that, Zane got 5 with the food aversion, but that is a symptom of another one. But because it's so severe, they watch and have to keep an eye on it. So anyway, but the 4 diagnoses, autism is nowhere on the list. But they have to make official diagnoses when between 5 and 6, because that time they have to have something in writing for school and for the child and for the parent to understand. So look, you don't got to be in no super hurry. The earlier intervention, the better. And I am an advocate of that. So I believe if you feel, if you see, if you think, talk to your doctor, your child's doctor, get a referral. It can't hurt you. I don't care who your insurance carrier is. Get a referral. If you don't feel like your child, I don't care if you have Medicaid. If you don't feel like your child is getting the best care, then you ask for another physician. Don't get angry. Do not cuss nobody out, because you're not going to get any help that way. What you need to do is call your insurance company, make a formal complaint about the doctor or the practice, whatever happened, whether they messed up meds, whether they were rude, whether they dismissed you, whatever that is. You legally can call your insurance, tell them this, and they will have to refer you to another practice. Not even the same practice in a different position. No, they will send you somewhere completely different. But we have to make sure we're using our voice to help our situation. Hear me, because listen here. Anybody know? No, I'll be the first one to cuss out anybody. I don't mind. It's just what it is in me. I've been cussing like a sailor long before I became a sailor, or a wave. But long before that, I was cussing like a sailor. So I've been cussing since I was a little girl. Good at it too. But that is not a way to get help. That is not a way to help your child. That is not a way an advocate behaves. You have to remember, when you are being your child's advocate, you're not the mother. You're the advocate. That's a different role. That's a different hat. It requires a different tone. It requires different research. Because see, as a mama, it's what I say will go. But as an advocate, that ain't the case. As an advocate, you need to understand laws. You need to understand ethics. You need to understand who the people are on the team. You need to understand what your child needs, because listen, if you don't know what your child needs, how is the school supposed to know your child has needs? So I say that not to say the school is right, not to say that you need to diagnose them, but listen, nobody knows when something's off like a parent or a grandparent. And I'll tell you something that my cardiologist always tells me, right, since I had my heart attack. And due to the reasons of my heart attack, I could have another one at any moment. And, it just could happen. But the thing he always tells me is, if you think it's your heart, you go to the ER. As a matter of fact, don't go, you call an ambulance. You don't wait, you don't waste no time. And I'm like, okay, so here we go, right? I had some chest pain. I ain't even go to the ER, y'all. I called the next morning and asked to see my cardiologist. And when I got in there, he was very upset with me. But the thing is, I didn't want to go to the ER because I didn't want them looking at me like I was crazy, or looking at me like I'm just overreacting, because I have received some horrible healthcare services since I got so sick in 2016 and had my heart attack, and then kind of spiraled out of control from there. But y'all, awful care. Awful. So I didn't want to go. My cardiologist has privileges at North Florida. Y'all, I don't like them people. They sound. Oh, Jesus. But what he tells me is, for me, it is better for me to go in at the ER and have all the tests ran over and be kept overnight than for me to wait and have another heart attack. Y'all, when I had my heart attack, because just so y'all can understand, they didn't know I was having a heart attack. I knew because of my medical training and I know my body. I knew I was having a heart attack, but I sat in the waiting room and had my heart attack at North Florida Regional. I sat in the waiting room and had a heart attack. I felt every second of it. Simply because my EKG was normal. My blood pressure wasn't high. It was like 126/82 when I got to the ER. First set of troponins, negative. They tried to send me home. I refused to go because I knew it was my heart. But guys, I didn't have pain until I actually had my heart attack. I didn't have any pain except one pain. I had a pain right behind my right ear, right behind it. And I had a pain in my low back, not my low back, but right under my scapula on that same side. Those were the only places I had pain when I checked in the ER. They had me wait. I waited 4 hours to get in a room. While I waited in the waiting room, I had my heart attack. I cried. They never reassessed me, no matter what I said. So when the ER doc tried to send me home, I told him I was not leaving until I saw a hospitalist. So they brought in a hospitalist. I told the hospitalist my concerns. I had just been in North Florida in December and had a stress test that was normal. They were all unremarkable. So they looked and he was like, well, ma'am, I said, I'm telling you, it's my heart. So anyway, he says, I'll admit you for 24 hours, right? He said, based on your level of knowledge, I'll admit you. I said, well, thank you. So they admitted me. They got me in the room on the 3rd floor. About 10 minutes later, because Julian and Summer wasn't even sitting down yet, they came rushing in my room with a crash cart. The lady trying to put something in my IV, right? And I'm looking at her, and I said, what are you putting in there? She had like she didn't want to answer me, so I just flattened my hand over the IV so she couldn't get to it. And she said, I need to put this low pressure in your IV because you're having a heart attack. Look, at that point, I wasn't even rushed because I knew I had already had the heart attack. But at that point, I took my hand off because I knew it. And I said, oh, you put some of that in there. Anyway, they rushed me up to cardiac ICU, started a nitro drip, all of this hoopah, hoopah, hoopah. You know, the standard stuff. So the next day when my cardiologist came in, which is the same cardiologist I have now, him and his wonderful physician assistant, I'll see either one of them. When they came in, they let me know that it was really bad. And they wanted to know my history and different things because they had done a lipid panel, cardiac stress test, EKGs, all of that stuff in December of 15. This was February of 16, and I was in there with a heart attack. At the time, they didn't know I had rheumatoid arthritis and that it was affecting the lining of my heart. So anyway, we got all of that under control. But I tell that story to say you cannot stop being the advocate for your child. But at the same time, you're not going to accomplish nothing screaming, yelling, and cussing. Reach out to a group. Look on Facebook if you got questions. Reach out to a group. Read Google. Y'all, it's all kinds of stuff on Google. Get some books. Read. When you see something that says it's a resource, investigate the resource. It may not be applicable to you. You may not can even use it. However, it's a resource and it's knowledge you have for someone else. We have had so many amazing people in Zane's corner. They love him. They have answered questions. They have given suggestions because some of them have the knowledge and the experience, and I have the confidence in them to listen to what they have to say. Really, there's not but like a couple of people on that list, y'all. But there's a lot of people I've got resources from. But you have to establish a team. And sometimes that team has to be some members outside of your family because family might not get it. There's some family that don't understand why some places we just can't go, or we just don't go, or we just don't do. Or sometimes Zane's having a day and I'm not going to leave him. And then there's some friends and family that completely understand. But it's up to them whether they understand or not. It don't make me a bit of difference because Zane is the priority. And that's something else you have to remember. And this will help you keep a level head. By level head, I mean this will help you keep it all straight. Remember, it's all about who you're advocating for. It's all about that child. It's all about your child. It's not really about you. It's about how you can best help your child. So sometimes I think, and I've had this happen to me, where I would get upset because I felt like someone was disrespecting me or acting like I was dumb or like I didn't understand. But the thing is, I don't really need, I have learned and realized I don't need them to be concerned with my feelings. I need them to be concerned with what's best for Zane. So what I need you to do is tell me what you see. Because listen, if your kids go to school, there are 6 to 8 hours a day you do not see them. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know how they're behaving. You don't know what they're saying. It's just the truth. Sometimes it's not what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear in order to help your child and to make their life better. Because most of us that have children are adults. So you're not irrelevant, but you're not too relevant in this situation. That's just the truth, guys. And I tell you, I wouldn't trade that little boy. Zane has taught me so much about me. And I know, look, there are people here in this district and in Bradford County, they think I am just mean and rude and crazy. But thank God they did not meet me when my other children was in school. Because they really would have thought I was crazy. I don't act up unless I got to. But I have learned so much in this process, and I have learned so much about myself and things to work on in myself through Zane. And it has made me a better person, a better human. I'm a better woman. I'm a better wife. I'm a better mother. I hope I'm a better friend, but I be so busy, I know I suck at that most of the time. But I think I've always been a decent friend in the friend department. Because, child, one of my girls called me, we riding. Where we got to go? Who I need to call? but I am just grateful for him. And I will keep you guys posted on this journey with Zane. Um, and you guys, if you have any questions, if you've got questions specifically about Bradford County, that's where Zane is. If you have questions, I'm not a doctor, I can't diagnose them, but if you just want a soundboard to say, hey, do you think this is something? I'm here. Inbox me, email me. My email is on my page. Go over, I tell you, you can go over and on my YouTube, it's the same name as Facebook, Real Life Talk with April. Go over there, subscribe, shoot me a message. I check all of that regularly. Instagram, I'm on Instagram, Real Life Talk with April. Go on and follow me, y'all. If you follow me, I'll follow you back. I don't quite know how all that works, finding people. So if you follow me, I'll follow you back for all y'all Instagram people. I just got it, so like last week. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight, and I will see you guys Wednesday at 9 o'clock. Have a good night.